Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Kate, and I love books. So today's video is going to be a continuing series vlog. And the first book I have on the list is The Robin on the Oak Throne. This is the sequel to The Wren in the Holly Library. I read the first book in this series earlier this year, and I was surprised that it wasn't rated as highly as I thought. This to me was kind of like Shadowhunters for adults. Essentially, there has been like a monster war. The monster treaty has now come into effect, and our main character is a thief who ends up breaking the monster treaty, and chaos ensues. There's Celtic folklore and mythology, there is interesting character developments and like relationship dynamics, action-packed, fast-paced. I did just start this one last night. I'm on page 90, but I love these covers. So that's the front. The naked hardcover is also beautiful, so yes. And then the end pages. Maps we love. I believe that this is just going to be a duology, and it is now complete. This book was published earlier this year, just under 500 pages. Okay, no, this is going to be a trilogy. It says in the back, it says there's another book coming to round this whole thing out. But this is 465 pages, so gosh, I really thought that this was a complete duology. I love duologies, but it looks like it will be a trilogy. Oh well. And yes, I've jumped right back in. I'm on page 90. It picks up about 5 months after the end of the last book. We're in a different place in this world. We have new characters coming into play, new settings. I don't do spoilers in my vlogs, but there is obviously a nice arc on the way. But we're just going to keep going with this. I'm excited to do this reading vlog rather than the last disastrous 24-hour reading vlog attempt. If you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Welcome! Okay, we've got some demos going on in our house today, so it's a bit noisy. The mic is back out. But as you saw last night, I did finish The Robin on the Oak Throne by K.A Linde. I'm going to give this one 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed the first one, and there were so many elements of this that I did enjoy. I did feel like there was a lot of spice, a bit too much for me, and it also felt like it would be like super plot heavy and then very spice heavy, and there wasn't much going on, so I felt like there was a lot of lulls in the progression of the story. So I still really enjoyed it. There was room for improvement on the pacing for me, and it was just a bit too much spice. But I'm very excited. I did again think this was a duology, but I believe there will be more. So I'm ready for whenever that comes out. I really enjoy this series, but yes, pacing was a little bit hit or miss in this one. So now I'm going to start The Throne of Broken Gods by Amber V Nicole. This is the second book to Book of Azrael. Is the series called Gods and Monsters? Yes. Book 2 in the Gods and Monsters series. This is a dense book. This is chunky. How many pages is this? 616. That's not too bad, actually. The first book in this series is The Book of Azrael, and that follows Diana, who is our morally grey FMC. She is thousands of years old. She is a monster. And then we are also introduced to Samkiel, who is one of the gods, a celestial being. He's called the World Ender, and their joint efforts to find the Book of Azrael and the quest that they go on and development of a relationship. This is an urban fantasy. It's quite dark and adult, but I read the first book earlier this year, I think in June, while I was on my Vancouver trip, and I had so much fun. I wasn't sure about it to begin with, and then I was like, no, I'm obsessed. I love the writing in this. I love the characters. I think the setting is really cool. It's kind of like what I wanted Crescent City to be, I think. I love it. So we're going to start that one today. Continue on with this reading vlog. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Whoop whoop. There's 3 books out right now, and I believe the 4th book is coming out later this year. I don't know if it's a 4-book series, if that's going to wrap it up, or if it's got more to come. Anyways, let's jump in. Okay, I am about 100 pages in, and I thought I'd do a little update. I love this series. I feel like the characters are so interesting because they're both not the good guys. They have heroic elements to them, but they're so traumatized, and also like the world that they live in is just so used to like this darkness about it that they are messy and very villainous at times. It reminds me, like, did you ever watch The Vampire Diaries? And it's like that battle for humanity, and they're just constantly battling between turning it all off and going absolutely psycho mode. We have like one character who's definitely on that path right now, and then we have another one who's like kind of doing everything in their power to help that character, and they are also doing some very villainous things to do that. I love this. I love this. Trying not to give spoilers because I don't do spoilers in my vlogs, but I'm obsessed. So I'm 100 pages in. I do have an evening to myself tonight, but I'd love if I could just like sit and inhale a book, because this is absolutely hitting the spot right now. It is hitting the spot. I'm loving this. And also, I don't know if I showed you, but we have different, obviously, POVs. So for Sam Kill's chapters, there's like lightning illustrations, and then for Diana's, one moment, for Diana's we've got kind of like flames. I'm a fan. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading and I'll update you if there's anything cool that needs updating. There's probably several things, but we're not doing spoilers, so I'll just update you with how it's going as we move through this. I'm going to read in bed now, but I'm on page 190, and this one is actually also included on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm going to read in bed where I can just sort of like prop this up and not hold the book because I'm lazy. But I'm loving this. I'm loving this. It's definitely like the character arcs are kind of giving me Vampire Diaries in the best way possible. It's very brutal, very dark. I'm intrigued to see where it's going to go. I feel like lots has been happening, but like not a lot has progressed quite yet. I don't know. We're really like ramming home the current state of affairs, which I'm not mad about. And I just think the way that like these characters think about each other and the way that they think and exploring their inner turmoil is really interesting. And also in the first book, it was kind of similar. Like they didn't really overlap for a while. It took a hot minute for like the unit to come into play. So anyways, I'm having a grand time, and I'm going to read in bed now on my Kindle, or on my iPad, which I use as my Kindle. So hello, it is the next day, and the end of the next day, if you can't tell by the state of me. But I got to page 319 last night on the Kindle, and then I did just kind of find the place in the physical book. So about halfway through. I feel like these books are very like character central, so that's like it's very like character development focused, and a lot of what they're going through and then the action that is going on, it probably takes like slightly secondary, but it's very high stakes and very interesting. But like the characters and their emotional journeys is definitely kind of the priority in this book. So I'm loving it. We're about halfway. I think I'd just like to get into some comfy sweats and read my book for the evening. So I'll take you along. This was a very solid 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. This is kind of just like reminiscent of those like romantasy books that you really loved when you were younger. Those peak ones where it's just like, oh, you're really getting to know these characters. They are becoming your family as well. What an ending. Everything was hitting the fan. It wasn't necessarily, well, some of it was surprising, but some of it I was like, no, you could see it coming and you're just hoping and praying that it wasn't, but it did. No, I really enjoyed this. I loved getting to know these characters more. These are very, very heavy on the character development. Plot is still ongoing. Definitely heavy on the character development. I remember saying at the beginning it was kind of like giving me the Vampire Diaries vibes, the humanity element and just sort of like battling with yourself and your inner demons, which was quite fun. The element of like fates and destiny in here were kind of reminiscent to the Legacy series by Melissa K. Ruarick that I read earlier this year, and that was fun. And then I'd say like the character development and the kind of like the healing arc was sort of reminiscent of A Court of Mist and Fury or A Court of Silver Flames, kind of very focal there, but very dark. Also, the spice in this was spicy. Very, very spicy. It wasn't like, it's not a main point in the books, but like when it's there, it's there. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a mess, so I think I'm going to shower and feel human again. My dad brought home the next book that I will be reading, and that is All In by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the 3rd book in the Naturals series. I feel like I haven't stopped talking about this series in recent videos. It's kind of like Criminal Minds for teens. The first book is The Naturals, the second book is Killer Instinct, and then this is number 3, All In. There's one more book, Bad Blood, which is the 4th and final book in the series. They are short, quick, fun reads. Cassie Hobbs is our main character, and she is essentially a very gifted profiler. She is then recruited by the FBI to join this teeny bop group who work on cold cases for the FBI. So we have Cassie, who's a profiler. There's another profiler called Dean. We have Michael, who can read people's emotions, Leah, who is like a human lie detector and can lie very well, and then we have Sloane, who does is very gifted with like puzzles and pattern recognition and things like that. It's awesome, so fun, and all of them seem to have a connection to like crime or serial killers. So Cassie's mum, we find out in the first book, so this is not a spoiler, but Cassie's mum is missing, presumed dead, and there's like with an unclosed case with her, and these other characters in the house also seem to have their own connections to the darkness. And in between certain chapters we get, they're called like the you chapters, like this, where it's you and it's from the perspective of the criminal of whatever case we will be diving into in this book. This will be the next one on this reading vlog. These don't take me very long to finish. I'm gonna start this tonight and see how far we can get, because they fly by and they're so fun. Maybe light some candles, make some tea. Excuse me. than my future out here. So I did end up reading like 300 pages last night, so I have 75 pages left. 76. I love this. I love these stories so much because, yeah, each of them have kind of like their own connection to the cases that they work. And so this is kind of Sloane's book, and Sloane must be protected at all costs. I love her. I love her so dearly. These are always interesting as well because there's like so many moving parts and sort of the evolution of a active case. So there's like little pieces where you're like, ooh, I think I know where this is going. I think I know what this is. And then there are other bits where you're like, whoa, I guess this is where it's going now. So it's kind of fun. You're like, you're going with them along for the ride, and you can kind of like see other pieces that maybe they can't see in the moment, but then there are other bits where you're just as shocked as they are. So it's fun. I love Sloane. I love Sloane. She is so precious and so perfect. But there's only one book left, Bad Blood, but we have Leah and Michael. So I'm not sure how we're going to navigate that. So that'll be interesting to see. But we're going to finish this one probably this morning, and I think this might be the last book in this reading vlog for a continuing series. But yeah, let's wrap this one up. Out of Direct Sunlight. My camera died just as I was finishing that book. Hello, Alfie. Hello. Hello. But may I just say, the ending to that book, you didn't see it because the camera died, but oh my gosh, I think that one might have been my favorite in the series so far. I loved that, and the way that it's set up for this finale in the next final book. Oh, I'm so ready. Yeah, this one was my favorite, I think. Very, very good. I feel like the first two, they didn't quite have like a formula, but they had a bit of a formula. This one stayed within it, but definitely stretched outside of that the other books had sort of established, and I really enjoyed it. It fed it, but it also stretched it. I don't know. It was very good. I gave this one 4.75, if not 5 stars. I'm going to sit on that for a little bit, but I loved it. So that means we read 3 books in this reading vlog. We did a nice little continuing series. So this one, we're all caught up for the series so far. I think there's going to be more. There's got to be more. This one, we have 1 left. And then for the Book of Azrael, Gods and Monsters, there's 1 more that is currently out. And I believe it's going to be 4 books, maybe more. That's coming out later this year. So, did pretty good. I'm gonna wrap this up here. I am knackered. But thank you for watching. If you made it this far, as always, I've got like my Goodreads, my Fable, my Instagram and everything linked down below. I'm always say I'm the most active here on YouTube. At least once a week uploads. I love the comments. The comments are always my favorite. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what you'd like to see from me in the future. I love making the little reading vlogs. Yeah, if you want to give this video a like or subscribe if you're so inclined, it does help as I grow this channel. Thank you again. I'll see you in the next one.